Now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar and Young Thug, well now, if you are ready to see how rap's newest full-time clown and co-leader of the Legion of Lame just took whatever was remaining of his hip-hop career and just threw that thing in the trash after hearing what he has just said about Kendrick Lamar and everything he has done, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because really, as we have now heard the audio, which is not just showing off the performative hypocrisy of all of these Team Drake losers behind the scenes, but even bigger than that, we are seeing the jealousy that these losers have had for Kendrick Lamar all along, and this is something that has been going on for years. Make sure to leave that like so we can see this party get packed up once and for all, because from Drake to Jeffrey, we have never been closer to that very moment. And well, this is all because of the stupidity of none other than Young Thug, who's messed up so bad as now not just behind the scenes or with speculation or sneak disses, but with definitive cold hard proof where we are hearing Young Thug speak on the phone. Well, we know now how he doesn't just feel about any particular rapper, but he has spoken on none other than the king of the genre in Kendrick Lamar, and also Baby Keem gets called out here, which we will get into that seemingly as well. But listen now, from the anti-Kendrick hate to the Drake praise, there is so much happening here, and really Young Thug goes on such a long tangent that we are just gonna have to take a listen to the highlights of this to give it its proper context. And well, with this, here are the highlights of Young Thug complaining about how Kendrick Lamar would not hop on his 2023 album Business is Business and seemingly decline doing a feature, which for somebody that you're dissing and act like has no power, it's really weird to then go ahead and act like this.
That's why it'll never be bigger than Drake, ever in life. You know what I mean? Your life Drake changed. I mean, they can take care of their family because of butter. Just like straight fucking with you. Kendrick got put it on. Y'all, you're a superstar. You don't ran up you a few hundred M, but you ain't put nobody on though. You see what I'm saying? You ain't even put Keem on. Cause the shit on him doing ain't really doing that. Keem ain't big. Keem love hell. Man, can't sell no ticket. Watch out. Like, man, watch out. I truly believe you do a song on me, Wham, Dirt, Money Bad, Savage. I truly believe we'll have your dope trending, like, so it's gonna be like people in the real world, not the rap world. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be real players and cool lit and players, and you're gonna get like the real streets and the real people. East Coast ain't with you, bro. You really trying to keep all the blessings to yourself. You really trying to keep everything to yourself. You really sit in the studio and work on the album and don't put nobody on the album. Like, God, you probably me, Wham, Dirt, Savvy, you probably calling us like, hey man, I want y'all my album.
And so now with this, well, obviously you heard Young Thug. This was a long-winded rant, which in of itself, and also I didn't even play the full version, that is an indicator of how mad he really was about all this. But really, what I do have to say is I love when people act like Drake is bigger than Kendrick, which is exactly what loser Jeffrey did here. Although then, of course, while saying this, he is begging and crying over not getting a Kendrick feature, and well, at the same time, he had not one but two Drake features for this album, which also did come with a music video. But even with support from the quote-unquote bigger artist who is always putting and helping people on, this record still did less than 100,000 copies, and you had to get fake streams within that number to already boost up the lackluster numbers in and of themselves. And I say all of that to say, when we really look into this rant from the Rat, there is a lot that he tried to throw on Kendrick and put on him to make him act like this bad force for hip-hop, who is not putting on the culture or doing anything good for anybody. I have some news to break to Young Thug. Maybe Kendrick is not working with you and your little buddies because you are not good for hip-hop? But seriously, this narrative of Kendrick not putting people on, it is such a ridiculous one that I don't even think we need to entertain, because even before something like GNX, where of course Kendrick did this, I mean, everybody on TDE became the stars that they did alongside Kendrick, just boosting the label's profile up as a whole. And I mean, I know Young Thug is dissing him here and trying to act like he is a nobody, but if we want to be real, out of all the big name rappers, secondhand guys of this generation, apprentices, or whatever else you want to call them, well listen, in the field of the Gunnas, JIDs, Baby Keems, Don Tollivers, and Party Next Doors of the world, Baby Keem has not just shown the highest ceiling in terms of his potential as a star, But listen, if we want to break down catalog worth and record work, if we look at all of their albums compared to the Melodic Blue, that record really is one of the most valuable hip-hop projects of the decade. And to be honest, any single person in the music industry would rather have a stake in that album than any single thing that Young Thug has done. And so with this, even back then for this call, which was in 2023, this was a bad take because Baby Keem showed all through the Melodic Blue and Big Steppers era that he is a real star, and whenever he does come back out, I am sure everyone will regret ever speaking against him because even if we compare their first week numbers without any bots, Baby Keem pretty much did the same thing that this record did as a whole, and he didn't have anywhere near the support or the gimmicks to try and boost it up. And now beyond calling out Baby Keem, of course, where everything really takes off here is when Young Thug is talking Kendrick versus Drake before all of the back and forth happened as a whole. And for loser Jeffrey, once again, while trying to act like Drake was putting on all of these people is just a lie when we know that the streaming farms was doing the work and they couldn't even do that for you. I mean, once again, when you hear his rant and hear Young Thug trying to say that him, Lil Durk, and Lil Baby are the real superstars of rap and Kendrick should be honored to work with them because they are the best and it will make him look cool and then real people will be listening to him once again. Well, really, when you hear something like this, you find out every single thing that you need to know, which is that for Kendrick Lamar, who is a lyrical rapper, who raps like he has a brain, and who never conformed to the trends, these guys hated and despised him for being authentic so much. And even while praising one side of him and wanting him on a record because they understand his market power and worth, you can see how they are treating him like he's the one who doesn't understand rap. Meanwhile, in actuality, well, we all knew the ones who were making the genre worse were these losers all along, and really just hearing Young Thug talk about Wham, Dirk, and Moneybagg Yo like they are Wu-Tang, EPMD, or Mobb Deep. I mean, as a rap fan, it does make me angry in a lot of ways to just see how these guys who grifted the art form and just ruined it in a lot of ways, and had there not been a Kendrick Lamar, the genre of rap would be over within the next few years. Just try to act like the weird thing that they created is the status quo, and to really even for Kendrick and Keem, to just call them out for moving with dignity and purpose and not to just bag chase for the purpose of bag chasing. Well, I mean, when we are at the point where these losers are dissing people for not just doing things aimlessly for clout, attention, and money, this explains why rap was in the place it was and why Kendrick probably didn't want to work with you in the first place, loser Jeffrey. And I mean, while we knew that these were the conversations that probably were going on behind the scenes for years at this point, just to hear them in full and see how these losers are really thinking, it is a whole different thing. And now what I will say is that with all of this information now being out there and with us just seeing once and for all that all of these losers were always more like Drake than they ever were like Kendrick Lamar, which for everybody trying to switch up now, this is an important reminder, especially for all those lame old loser cupcake loving Lawbury stands. Well, really now, even with this way of thinking and with the industry against Kendrick Lamar, which with conversations like this is what Kendrick was telling us about in his diss tracks all along. Well, I have to say, even with an entire wave of grifters who wanted to control something and ruin its value against him, Kendrick still won rap back over to the way it needed to be and put it in an entire new era, doing the very things that scare these losers so bad. And to be honest, I do think with this moment right here, we are going to get a Kendrick Lamar response to all of this soon, whether that be a song or something else, because with all of this being exposed in the rap game, well, these are the very things that don't just make Kendrick speak and make more great moments, which are both amazing musically, but have so much value, because again, this guy actually raps like a brain, which I know is scary for these guys, but it's what this genre was built off. But even in the greater sense, this is exactly what Kendrick told us would happen about a year ago with that party track, and has seemingly been waiting for all of this to go down. And as everything just continues to get more messy and really these vultures just rip itself apart, which once again is another thing that Kendrick also said on 616 in LA. Well, really, we are just watching how one man is changing an entire industry, and whether they love him or they hate him, these losers haven't figured it out, but they are just helping him however you want to look at it. And so now with all of this said, let me know, what do you think about loser Jeffrey saying all these things about Kendrick Lamar? Do you think they hold any value? And what do you think about him putting Kendrick against Drake and what all of this could have meant? And if you were Kendrick Lamar, would you have hopped on this album? Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about all this, and now if you made it to this point of the video, you know what to do. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are not already. It really does help me out a ton, and if you have been supporting the channel, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. And now, if you want to see how right before this, Well, then another Young Thug phone call about his album Business is Business and how it was not performing well, really because it didn't get this Kendrick feature and it got those 2 Drake ones that he was bragging about in this call. Well, he just admitted he is faking streams and so are all of his loser buddies, and this is about to get bad. Check out the suggested video.